I rise today, once again, which seems to be a habit for me, to share a very personal experience, to address some of the concerns expressed by some of the opponents, namely report of complaints and self-advocacy. When I was 18 years old, my boyfriend at the time, who ended up being my husband and the father of my two beautiful children later on when we were ready, we found ourselves with an unwanted pregnancy. And we knew what was right for us. We made the decision together. We did what we needed to do, and we found a place where we felt we could safely go. Even knowing that I was in a place where I could make decisions for myself, informed decisions with my partner, there was still an opportunity to be challenged by those who thought that what I was doing was not right, was not okay, was not acceptable. These people had very specific legal rules that they had to follow in challenging my choice. And they pushed, and literally pushed. There were hands on me. I was moved. This has nothing to do necessarily with deception, but I was terrified. I was intimidated. I knew I was right. I knew that they were wrong, and I did not feel comfortable telling anyone. Me, someone who can stand in front of all of you and share with you such a personal story, I did not feel comfortable making a complaint. I talked about this in the public hearing when someone shared a similar story, and I shared my own personal pain and experience and journey. And after I was done, I was very emotional. I was moved to tears. I had to turn my camera off and leave the Zoom meeting. I turned to my two dearest friends, both of whom I have known for 20 and 30 years, respectively, and reached out to them right away, and I told them for the very first time about the decision that my husband and I had made when we were kids. They know everything about me. I have shared my whole life with these two women, and I believed that they had done the same. In that conversation, they both shared with me their own experiences with abortion. We were 3 for 3, and none of us had ever shared in our safest space what had happened with us. To assert that a complaint not being made is proof, to me, is absurd. I will tell you anything about me at any time without shame, and I stand before you without shame in my decision-making. No shame whatsoever. I have the two most perfect children in the world because I was ready to have my children when I was ready to have them. But even being the type of sharing person that I am, I did not feel safe. I did not feel that I could advocate for myself, which is that other point that has been brought up a number of times. They should be able to self-advocate. Under these circumstances, I would argue that self-advocacy, when you are making a decision that whether or not you are comfortable with it, you still have trepidation, you still have fear, and you certainly have fear for what others will think of you. To assert that you could easily self-advocate, it's not true. It's not real, it's not realistic, and it is an unfair weight to put on the women who are put in this position. I would ask that as questions are being raised, that you think not only of the people who can stand up, who have the privilege to be able to stand here in front of a group like this and share a story, that almost 30 years later still invokes some of that anxiety that I felt then. Think of the people who can't do this. Think of the people who will never make a phone call because maybe someday they might run for public office, and where will it lead them when everybody knows all of their truths? Or because they're afraid that a family member might hear about the choice that they made, or they are afraid that it will affect their employment, whatever it is. The idea that it would be simple to complain, simple to advocate, it's not grounded in reality, and if you've experienced anything like this for yourself, I think you could really understand that. All I'm asking is that you put yourself in the shoes of those who might have been there. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the proponent for standing so strong for a bill that I very strongly support.